Hey everybody, it's Angela, and I am back with a little mini album today. And I just got a couple of these Elizabeth Craft dies, and one of them was the camera insert, and it was a kit. It came along with the interior page items, so this was the sheet they sent with the dies. And I played around with it, and you can use it as a planner insert because it's part of their Planner's Essential, but you can use it as a mini album. And why I liked it was because that interior mat, you can totally use it to cut your Project Life cards down, or you don't even have to cut them down. They actually fit on there, and use those as the mats on this. So it was a great way for me to use all these Project Life cards. I put one on each side, and that's the reason mostly I got it. But then I thought, I had all these other ideas, and my oldest stepson, they had their first baby in December of 2020, so it was during all this COVID stuff, and I wanted to make a little baby album for him. And so I have this Authentique Darling paper, and in the boy version, and some craft cardstock, and I thought, I'm just gonna make a cute little mini for them. So I cut 2 pieces of paper and I sewed it along. You could glue it. I just sewed it because it's not going to show. And then I used my circle punch to make like a little thumb hole. And I'm going to put a card inside each, make a tag to go in there. Now the Authentique paper has these cute little, they're like little kid flashcards. So I'm using a flashcard in each of the pockets. And the Authentique, they have like quite a few sheets of each page. They only have like 4 pages, but they've got quite a few duplicates of each. So it was kind of my goal to use as much of that collection as possible. And so I pretty much take everything out of that Authentique collection except for these craft pieces and a little bit of cardstock that I use as mats. Otherwise, I cut everything out of the Authentique paper. Now I'm making a few reinforcer holes for my tags, and all my mats are going to be in the page mats are going to be in craft, and my insert mats are going to be in some other colors of cardstock. So now I'm just getting a little single hole punch. I'm going to cut my hole for my tags, and I did round the corners. I rounded the corners on everything to match the Elizabeth Craft die. And I'm going to do this for each of the different tags. And there you can see I took the pages, I put my craft page mat on there, and then I put a tag inside each of those pockets. So really, really cute. And I used a lot of that collection, because I had to have 2 pieces of paper for each page, and then the insert as well. So I've got those done, and now I want to go ahead and start on my cover. So I cut out a craft piece and a piece of the patterned paper. I'm going to glue those back to back. The craft is going to be the outside of my album. And the craft, having that there just kind of tones down, because this is a very heavily patterned paper. And so I just wanted to tone it down with a solid. So that's why I chose the craft. And it just really lends itself well to this paper line and the colors they're using. I loved the actual papers. I loved that they didn't use a baby blue, but they used a navy blue instead. And that's kind of what drew me to it. That and the vintage like flashcards and toys and stuff that they used on that is kind of what drew me to this collection, and that it was a boy collection, because sometimes those are a little harder to find. So I'm just going to glue these together, which is really easy because it's a shaped piece. So you just kind of push them together there. And then you could leave this if it was a planner insert. There is a score in the middle, and you could just fold it on that score line. But since I'm going to make a mini album out of it, I'm just going to cut it along that score line instead. And there is my little album. That's the base. And I've kind of lined up the pages the way I want. So I want to just put one of my binder rings in there to hold it together in the order that I want as I go ahead and start decorating. So what I'm going to do is on the front of each of these pages, I'm going to make a little pocket. And one of the Authentique papers has all these border strips on it. So I've just cut out a bunch of the strips. And I'm going to make it the size, the width of my mat. And then I'm going to round the bottom corners of it using my Crop-A-Dile just to match the rounded corners on the mat. And then I'm just going to use some Scotch Quick Dry adhesive and my fine line bottle to just kind of go around 3 edges of that and make a little pocket. And there I wasn't sure yet what I was going to put in those pockets, but I do wind up using 3 different colors of cardstock that I'm going to use as my mats, and these are the pieces of cardstock, and I rounded all the corners. And now I've gone through my stamp stash and I looked for a bunch of different stamps that had lines on it because I want to put on the back, I want to stamp some lines so that Mom can journal on the back. And you can see there in the upper left hand corner, I had kind of started decorating the cover, but I didn't include that footage because I wind up kind of doing it a little bit differently anyhow. So I kind of cut some of that out to keep this video from getting too long. But I do keep his name there. The Authentique paper pack that I had had an alpha and some stickers. It had a sticker sheet. So I used those. And so I'm just going through, pulling out all my lined stamps, and I'm going to just use some, looks like some Heidi Swapp brown ink to just go ahead and stamp some lines on the back. And I'm going to do that to all the ones that are in the pockets, in the page pockets. And I just used some olive green, some orange, and navy blue mats on there just to match the paper line. So I go ahead and I do that for all my pocket inserts here. And then I go ahead and I put my photos on the front, and I do round the corners of all my photos as well. And I have a Felicity Jane stamp that I went ahead and put on the front cover, and this cover just wasn't doing it for me, so I wind up making some little cute little medallions to put on there. I wanted a little more height and texture on the front. That was just too flat. So at that point I set it aside because I wasn't sure, how I wanted to, what I wanted to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue all of my photos down. And this is, of course, little Isaac, and he was born in December of 2020. So I've gotten a lot of different photos of him texted to me. And so I just went ahead and printed those out. Yeah, I haven't been up to see him now that I'm down at the farm. And we've been doing all of our growing and stuff. I haven't been able to go up and visit him, but I hope to real soon. So there I'm just deciding I need to put one on the tag inside that slips into the end of the page, and then I need to put one on a couple mats on each pocket. So this one I'm going to mat on some brown craft, and then I'm going to attach that to the tag that goes in the end of the page. And I just used 3 or 4 different colors of baker's twine in each of those tags. So that gives a nice texture there on the end of the page. And you can see the cute little medallions, and they just add that texture and height I was looking for. The rest of the front I kept the same. I used the Spellbinders, this tiny one here, and then this other version, the smallest one on it as well. And again, I just used the Authentique paper, and a bunch of these Teresa Collins gold stars just to bling it up a little bit. So you can see I used the Elizabeth Craft dies that came with the camera to cut out the little round piece that goes around the center photo and around the viewfinder and the flash. I put a couple medallions on the inside and one of the stickers from the Authentique paper. And again, the Perfect is also from the Authentique sticker page. There you can see I put the photos, and it has lines for them to put some journaling on the back. And I put a couple little stickers of that wagon and a gold star on that bottom left-hand corner. And then I used a tab that I cut out of the paper line on that one photo. This one I had two pictures of kind of the same event, so I just put one on each side. I used one of the little gold stars. Again, I put a photo on each of the pullouts on the end of the page. Cute little gold star on that one. And then they had a cut apart page in the Authentique that had all these cute quotes. So I glued two quotes back to back, rounded the corners, and put a tab at the top. And I included quite a few of those little quotes in here because I thought they were so cute. And the little circle is one of the stickers off the sticker sheet that I just matted on some brown craft. And again, like this wild child and this, I think that might be a Dr. Seuss quote there on the back. I just glued them back to back and rounded the corners. There I put a couple little orange enamel hearts on there. It's pretty subtle, but it adds a little bit of shine. Put a couple pictures in the pocket and then one on the tag. And it has those cute little flashcards. I think those images, you know, the little airplane, the wagon, the skates, the ice cream cone, those are kind of what drew me to this paper collection. And the colors worked really well with the photos that I had. So lots of just little quotes and little sayings off the sticker sheet and those cut apart cards that I just kind of sprinkled through here. And I used just a lot of the paper collection, as much as I could. I tried to use the Authentique because you get, I think, 4 sheets of each design. So, you know, it's just a lot. So I have enough still to do one for my other 2 grandsons. I could do some mini albums for them as well. So a few more photos, a few more of the stickers off the sticker sheet, another tag. And then here on this very last page, I put another medallion that kind of sticks up off the top. A couple more photos, another matted sticker on the pocket with another gold star. And then on the back, I just used the little reinforcers and some corners off the sticker sheet. And then that is my finished mini album, and I think it turned out really cute. I love the colors, lots of pattern, not too over the top, but it has some texture. And I'm hoping that my stepson and his wife like it because it's going to be going their direction. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions on anything I did here, just leave me a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.